The ghost of Himeji Castle. Nestled on a hilltop overlooking the Japanese city of Himeji, the white walls of Himeji Castle gleamed like a beacon under the pale moonlight. Tourists who visited during the day marveled at its architectural beauty and intricate design, but few knew the darker, haunting tale that lay buried within its history. Tonight, as the castle stood silent and imposing, it seemed almost alive, as if it were breathing softly, exhaling centuries of secrets into the cold night air. Among the many legends surrounding Himeji Castle, the most chilling was that of Okiku, a young servant whose life ended in betrayal and despair. Locals whispered her name in hushed tones, especially on nights when the wind howled through the ancient pine trees. They claimed to hear her wails, a sorrowful sound that resonated through the castle's stone walls and echoed in the well where her tragic tale reached its grim conclusion. The tragic tale of Okiku. Okiku was a beautiful and loyal servant who worked in the castle's inner chambers during the 16th century. She was known for her diligence and grace, qualities that caught the eye of a high-ranking samurai named Aoyama. Aoyama, however, was a man of great ambition and cruelty. When Okiku spurned his advances, he devised a sinister plan to destroy her. The castle's treasures included 10 priceless golden plates, artifacts of immeasurable value and symbolic importance. One day, Aoyama hid one of the plates and accused Okiku of stealing it. Theft was a crime punishable by death, and Okiku's pleas of innocence fell on deaf ears. Aoyama presented her with a vile ultimatum: become his lover, or face execution for her supposed crime. Okiku refused. Her sense of honor and loyalty to the castle's code surpassed her fear of death. Enraged by her defiance, Aoyama ordered her to be tortured and eventually thrown into the castle's well. As her lifeless body hit the water, the tragedy should have ended. But it was only the beginning. The haunting begins. Not long after Okiku's death, strange occurrences began to plague the castle. Guards and servants reported hearing soft, mournful weeping in the dead of night. The cries grew louder and more distinct, accompanied by the sound of someone counting, 1, 2, 3. The counting always stopped at 9, followed by a chilling wail that pierced the silence. It was said that Okiku's spirit, unable to find the missing plate, returned nightly to search for it. The legend spread, and fear gripped the hearts of those who lived and worked within the castle walls. Many claimed to see a pale, translucent figure near the well, her long black hair dripping with water and her face twisted in sorrow. Some who dared to approach the well swore they felt an icy grip on their arms or heard whispers urging them to look down into the darkness. A scholar's obsession. Centuries later, in the early 20th century, an ambitious historian named Takashi Nakamura became fascinated with the legend of Okiku. A rational man by nature, Takashi believed that the story was merely a folktale embellished over time. Determined to uncover the truth, he obtained permission to spend several nights within Himeji Castle, documenting his experiences. Armed with notebooks, a lantern, and an iron will, Takashi entered the castle at dusk. The first night passed uneventfully, though the eerie silence of the empty halls unnerved him. On the second night, as he stood near the well, he felt an inexplicable chill. The air grew heavy, and a faint sound reached his ears, a woman's voice, soft and melancholic, counting. 1, 2, 3. Takashi froze. The sound was unmistakable, yet no one else was in the castle. Gathering his courage, he peered into the well. The lantern's light barely penetrated the darkness, but he thought he saw something move, a ripple in the water far below. As the counting continued, he backed away, heart pounding. Surely, it must be the wind, he told himself, though doubt began to creep into his mind. Confronting the spirit. On the third night, Takashi resolved to confront whatever was causing the phenomenon. He brought a small mirror, a common tool in Shinto rituals, believing it might help him communicate with the spirit. At midnight, he returned to the well and placed the mirror on its edge. Okiku, he called softly, if you are here, show yourself. I seek only to understand your pain. For a moment there was silence. Then, a cold wind swept through the courtyard, extinguishing his lantern. In the moonlight, Takashi saw her, a figure in a tattered kimono, her hair hanging limp and wet, her eyes, filled with sorrow, locked onto his. 9, she whispered, her voice trembling. 9, I cannot find the 10th. Takashi's breath caught in his throat. Summoning all his courage, he said, Okiku, the plates no longer matter. Your suffering has ended. Be at peace. The ghost hesitated, as if processing his words. Slowly, her figure began to fade, her sorrowful expression softening. The wind ceased, and the oppressive atmosphere lifted. Takashi felt an overwhelming sense of relief, though he wasn't sure if he had truly helped her or merely witnessed a part of the legend. The legacy of Okiku. Takashi's account of the haunting became a topic of great interest among scholars and spiritualists. While some dismissed it as a fabrication, others believed it to be genuine evidence of the supernatural. Over time, the story of Okiku continued to draw visitors to Himeji Castle, many of whom claimed to feel her presence near the well. Today, the well, known as Okiku's Well, remains a central feature of the castle's grounds. Tourists peer into its depths, some hoping to catch a glimpse of the restless spirit. The tale of Okiku serves as a poignant reminder of the castle's storied past, blending beauty with tragedy, history with myth. And on quiet nights, when the moon casts its silver glow over Himeji Castle, the wind carries a faint sound. 1, 2, 3. The ghost of Okiku, it seems, may still be searching for her 10th plate.